Magic has always been a sort of entertainment for us. If you believe it or not, it's usually fun to watch. But some magicians do extreme magic. Magic that looks very dangerous, just to entertain us. And many of these magicians risk doing these things a lot, daily. Things that leave us gripping our chairs and thinking, how is that even possible? But some of these tricks do end up backfiring a lot, or even end up tragically. Today we will cover exactly that, magic tricks that didn't go as planned at all. Tricks that not only left the audience surprised, but even the magicians themselves. Since the list I'm gonna cover is quite tragic all in all, I thought maybe we could start the list off lightly, and the further we go, the worse it gets. But to be honest, almost all of these are very, very bad. So viewer discretion is advised. First, and actually a very new accident that happened, was on live Polish TV on a morning show called Pytanie na śniadanie. I hope I didn't butcher that. It means basically question for breakfast. And they featured a magician on their live show where he was doing a trick with one of the hosts. Not sure if this trick got a particular name, but as you can see on the footage, there is paper bags, and in one of them is a nail, a big nail. And as I understand the trick, the point of it is to slam down on the bags until there is one left, and obviously not to hit the one with the nail. First, the magician tried one. Nothing happened. Nice. But then it was the host's turn. The host seemed quite hesitant to do it, so the magician guided her hand, and he was quite confident in his trick. See for yourselves.
Tak, zrobimy na 3, dobrze? Uważaj.
Raz, dwa.
Kurwa, przepraszam. Przybiłem ci rękę. Naprawdę, przybiłem mi rękę. Przepraszam.
Ała, to bolało.
Słuchajcie, nie...
To bolało, ała.
Błagam was, niech to się nie dzieje naprawdę, niech to będzie tylko i wyłącznie...
Ała,
Chodź.
ała.
Later on, after the incident, thankfully we got a little snippet of a video from the host saying that everything is okay. And the nail didn't go all the way through her hand, and she got just a wound. And to be honest, she seemed pretty okay with the situation and didn't really blame the magician at all, and actually told the people to not hate comment on him. Now, on to the next one. And like I said earlier, it only gets worse from here. The tragic accident of Gilbert Ginesta. Gilbert was an American escape artist and a magician born in 1878 in the state of Kentucky. He first became interested in magic sometime about 1890 when he witnessed a schoolhouse show in Foxburg, Pennsylvania. He then went on to perform professionally as Ginesta, the Wizard of Wonders. On November 9th, 1930, Ginesta was performing a trick where he would attempt to escape from a water-filled milk can, a trick made famous by Harry Houdini. Prior to the performance, the milk can had been dropped for transportation, damaging the secret escape hatch and rendering it inoperable, which no one knew about before it was too late. And whilst performing the trick, Ginesta tragically died, drowning on the live show. As we know, the world of magic involves dangerous tricks, and if you thought the previous one was risky, wait till you hear about this one. The so-called bullet catch trick. You heard me right, bullet catch trick. And no, we're not talking about the Matrix here. Being one of the deadliest tricks done with 12 recorded deaths. The trick has many versions, but it usually goes like this. The magician has an audience member mark a real bullet, often by singing it, to prove it's genuine. The bullet is then loaded, quote unquote, into a gun, sometimes a musket, sometimes a modern firearm. An assistant or even an audience volunteer fires the gun directly at the magician. The magician appears to catch the bullet in their mouth, or sometimes in their hand or a plate. And at the reveal, the magician shows the marked bullet, creating the illusion it traveled through the air and was caught. The modern version of it was even performed by David Blaine For those of you who don't know who he might be, he's a magician slash illusionist who does very risky and life-threatening tricks for the love of the game. And he performed the modern version of it that includes holding a metal cup in your mouth and catching the bullet with it. Still very dangerous. And on March 23rd, 1918, a magician by the stage name Chang Ling Su was performing at the Wood Green Empire in London. He performed his version of the bullet catch. That night, as one of his assistants fired the modified gun at him, some of the gunpowder exploded in the gun's chamber, accidentally firing the bullet, which was loaded only for show by the assistant, into Su's lung, which tragically ended in his death. Now we're at the last and probably worst one yet, considering there is full footage of it online. Although, whilst researching the incident, many people call it fake or an advertisement due to the lack of information to such a tragic accident. And I personally hope it's fake, but it's hard to prove or disprove, so let me know in the comments down below. So first and foremost, I will not be showing all of the footage because I truly find the footage disturbing and very graphic, if you believe it's fake or not. This very tragic incident happened on a live show in Slovakia from my research. In this case, the magician and his assistant wife are performing a chainsaw cutting trick, where it appears that he cuts off her head. And usually in the trick, the assistant uses some kind of fake legs or dummy lower half or something like that, while the real assistant curls up or hides in a real compartment, usually. And from my understanding, in this case, the chainsaw was supposed to cut through some kind of fake compartment where it didn't touch her head. But when it's time to perform the trick, something clearly went very wrong with the fake compartment, and the wife tries to signal him and the others by shaking her arms. But it's way too late, and they don't notice before it's all over. Thank you all so much for watching another episode. It has been your host, JP. Make sure comment on the video about your thoughts and whatever you might even want to see in the next episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.